defining critical knowledge.
I love that. And why that particular break down those words? Why that message?
Because we can't succeed together without being transparent
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, having the right knowledge about things in life and just, you know, being honest about where we come from, where we're going, asking one another questions, informing ourselves, you know, and just sharing our testimonies about things that we've been through.
Got it. So knowledge is part of that. It's more so the power for pulling yourself out of a stuck situation.
Yes, it is.
And you know what? It's funny you said stuck because I felt stuck the other day at the gas station. Gas was $4.29, and I had no choice but to not buy the gas. Shout out to Millie for the sound effects on the one at the bottom.
I heard that, baby. I heard it.
Listen, well, this is going to be a fun show. We got lots to talk about, a lot of ground to cover. We got Canton Jones coming in the building. How you feel about that?
Oh, I'm feeling excited
I'm
about
excited.
that, man.
I had to get resaved just in case to make sure I was straight.
Holy water in the building.
In the building. AKA Vodka O'Reilly. No, for real. Doe has been around me for the past year. We've done several projects together. We traveled together. I can say that now. Right. So to have her as a personality on air, to be able to interview our personalities, which I'm going to do with all of them because I want you guys to see how good our talent and our personalities really are. So I'm excited to get this thing on the road. So like my other shows, I usually start off with the national holidays. So these are your national holidays today.
Oh.
Today is National Fudge Day. Do you like fudge?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
I mean, it's alright. Well, what about today's National Fresh Veggies Day?
Okay, we could do that.
Y'all can see no face. Forget about it. What's the last vegetable you ate?
What I ate yesterday? Actually, I did like a mix of vegetables.
Okay.
Like zucchini
Ooh.
and bell peppers and red onions and stuff like that.
Did you like stir fry, kind of saute it a little bit?
girl,
That sounds
it
real
really
good.
was good.
The last vegetable I had was green. Then I rolled it up. The last vegetable it was
charcoal.
It was a lighter green.
Oh.
A little fluffy, a little crumbly.
Okay.
Yeah. I partook of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm good on the vegetables, so shout out to all my vegetable heads out there. Gotta get those veggies right. And today is International Day of the African Child. I didn't know we made it. We made it today.
We made it. Mama, we made it.
We be in the big times now.
Right.
Like, what is that? What does that entail? International Day of the African Child.
That's a good question. I never heard of nothing like that. So we're just celebrating ourselves, black beauty, brown skin girls.
So like, if a kid is biracial, do we have a National Biracial Day too?
I gotta ask my baby.
Don't over here stuck with these questions like, I'm stuck.
Unstuck queen is
The unstuck queen is stuck. And then we also have the World Sea Turtle Day.
Seal the deal.
Seal the deal. You know, I had a turtle once.
Okay.
His name was Pierre.
Oh,
And I bought a leash for him, and I
unleash.
wanted to walk him. I thought it would be a good idea, but he was a red snapper, so it didn't really get that. But turtles are actually fun, y'all. I encourage y'all parents, get your kid a turtle. I mean, they have little personalities.
Yeah.
She like, nah, I still ain't doing it.
It's kind of a boring animal.
For real? Okay, so what's your ideal pet?
Believe it or not, the people don't like it, but I've had snakes before.
Now, you know what? It's funny because I was thinking about snakes the other day, and I was like, I'm scared of them, but if I owned a snake, would I be scared of it? How was that experience, and what was the feeding process?
The feeding process, I was more scared of what I fed it than what I was of the animal.
Oh, wow.
So mice, I'm totally afraid of.
Okay.
And I remember one time I went to the pet shop and got the mice, and they put it in a bag instead of the little car, and they chewed out of the bag. Oh my God, I left my car on the bridge.
Are you serious? The rat, so the rats chewed through the bag, and they was in the car?
They was in the car.
No. How did you get out of that?
I just got out the car and just got somebody.
That's how you got unstuck?
That's how I got unstuck.
So was you like driving and you looked down and...
Because you could hear them. So I was trying to hurry up and get to my destination. Because if you have the bag near you, could shake it and it disturb them. This time, that didn't happen.
And so they chewed through. So how does it look seeing the snake?
It's amazing to watch. It's creepy to watch, but it's amazing to watch.
They devour their food.
They really do.
Shout out to my ex. They devour.
Yeah.
He was good at that. He devour. I'm sorry. Can't go.
Listen.
So they just eat the whole thing, right?
They eat the whole thing, but it's more like boa constrictors. So they squeeze their prey before they kill them. So you could sometimes see the little mice, maybe little eat sounds.
If y'all can see Joe's face.
But you know what the crazy part is? It's like the mice irritates the snake when they're not even really that hungry. So sometimes they'll kill it and just leave it there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So the snakes don't like all that moving around.
Yeah, you're making my nerves.
Shut up.
Say it again.
Say it again. You know what? That's funny. And somebody once told me there's a lot you can learn from snakes. And the best analogy I was given was that snakes never change their facial position or their expression when they about to strike. So in life, a lot of times we're going through situations, we let our emotions show, we let our feelings show, and that prevents us from dealing with, those things. But if we learn anything from the snake, you can't always let people know when you about to strike. You gotta just keep it cool, keep a cool, chill head. And that's something that I know I've grown a lot, because I used to be really, really like off the Richter, like but I've grown so much. I'm like, I'm not gonna let you get me to that spot no more. And it's good for health purposes too, because when you get mad, your blood pressure going up and all that stuff, it can be something not good. So that's that. I think my ideal pet would be a French bulldog. I love those.
Okay.
But those cost like $10,000.
Yeah. Now my ex-sister-in-law, she actually raised all those animals, exotic animals and stuff.
Oh, she like Joe Tiger King?
Yeah, she has a plethora of exotic animals.
Are there a lot of exotic animals in New Orleans? I feel like y'all be doing all kinds of stuff.
I don't think so like that. I don't think so like that. But I did grow up in neighborhoods where I had like some Asian neighbors. They had little spider monkeys and things like that, and I had never seen that. Now what's going on?
Spider monkey?
Yeah, the little spider monkey.
Wow. Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay then. Shout out to the neighbors then. Okay. Shout out to everybody that's got their pets today. Make sure you love on your pets.
Love on your pets.
Love on your man. Love on your friends. Look, when we come back in a minute, we're gonna get some more conversation with Miss Dope Unstuck on the special edition Women Are Dope Morning Show, the Unstuck Way on 101 TKO Radio.
Yes.
Yeah. That damn snake. She said the mice.
Bruh, you know, maybe
What they do, dog?
like they like they can't.
Like, stop. How are you feeling thus far?
I'm getting more and more comfortable with it. I always wanted to be a voice and influencer for people. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about everything, and I've been through a lot, and I've been transparent through a lot. I've spoken at different seminars. I've done things for kids. I've written books and stuff like that. So it's always been about just sharing my testimony and being the counselor and the influencer to other people. So doing this radio platform, I appreciate you very much for even inviting me aboard and having me aboard with this. But it gives me a chance to be able to let my voice be heard, give people chances, and air some things out and get some healing going on in this world.
Yeah, a lot of people they say they want to do radio, but they do not know how it feels till you sit down in that seat.
Bruh.
How would you describe the process? Because most people think we just get behind the mics and we just talk, and that's
nope.
No.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought that at one time too. Yeah. But I mean, through the little experiences that I've had, and then I sat back and watched, and then I watched you, and I'm like, I ain't gonna be able to do that like that. Let me go and do some homework. So I got my old people notes.
Listen, I'm all a fan of the D.O.P.E.
You tell us what I had over there.
I had over here one time, you know what I'm saying? And 2 laptops.
Yeah.
So it's a lot different than what you expected as far as work wise.
Yeah, and especially, doing a show by yourself, you're just talking to yourself. You gotta make sure you say the right things. It's live, there's really no mess ups. If you do mess up, you gotta go ahead on and cover it up right quick and just keep it going. You can't drop the ball and stay stuck.
Yeah, I like how you put that.
Ooh.
Radio is one of those things where it's like, you really can't mess up if you know yourself and you own yourself. And people talk about purpose and stuff all the time, not realizing that part of your purpose is being okay with your mess ups, with the things that you do. I think we beat ourselves up so much about, the mistakes that we make instead of really just saying, you know what, okay, I messed up, let me just own it and get unstuck.
Right.
So that's that right there. So we got a little bit of articles to talk about real quick. Some stuff going in the news. I want to get your thoughts on this real quick. So Lil Wayne was denied entry into the UK for the Strawberries and Cream Festival.
Oh wow.
How you feel about that?
Why?
This is Lil Wayne now. So reports are saying allegedly, I repeat, as the festival season ramps up, fans of Tunchi will no longer be able to see him at the stage in the UK for the first time in 14 years. Lil Wayne was scheduled to headline the Strawberries and Cream Festival this Saturday, but UK's Home Office, Land Security, had other plans. In a statement provided to Rolling Stone, the Home Office explained, any individual who has been sentenced to a custodial sentence of 12 months or more must have their application refused. Strawberry and Cream also released a statement regarding the matter. We are deeply disappointed by this sudden and negative ruling. We've received very minimal notice, and the timing is terrible, basically, on telling them. So this actually stems back from a possession of a firearm charge from a convicted felon stemming from a weapons charge in 2007. So in 2007, he had this charge, and because of that charge, here he is, 2022, and he's denied entry into the UK.
No, that's wrong.
I feel like it is too.
That's wrong.
Especially if he's assigned to perform there, then that's business. So that's what, over 10 years ago. So we still on that. But here's the kicker. Those charges were kind of quote unquote dropped when Trump pardoned him during the time before he left out of office.
Right.
So do you think that the UK disagreed with Trump's decision? Do you think that Trump's decision may have affected his ability to go into the UK? Not even so much as because it's Lil Wayne, but because of Trump.
Possibly, given Trump's reputation and stuff. Because I remember when Trump showed up to his house in Miami early in the morning to pardon him.
Really?
So people gave him a lot of backlash about his outfits and things like that at that time. He had stylists that styled him, and he just picked something from each lineup.
Okay.
So really and truly, that wasn't nothing that he wanted to do. That was something that was thrown on. I don't know nobody that wouldn't do it. Like, look, let me pardon you so you won't lose everything and things like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stand up there and say vote for Trump.
Yeah.
I was talking the other day, and I'm like, the way Biden has the world all in disarray, it's like, man, I'm ready for Trump to come back.
You know what? It's funny you said that because there's people now talking about it's funny because I see more people talking about Biden. He was supposed to do a lot of things with his presidential status, and from what I'm gathering, allegedly he's not coming through on the baggy.
I feel like we voted for him due to the fact,
He's a
he
nice
wasn't
guy.
prejudiced.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Team black people
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But then again, once he's in office, it's like we putting more money out than we ever had.
Absolutely.
People are going homeless. They have to come together as families to stay under a roof.
Yeah.
Gas is off the rockets. I mean, food is extremely high.
At least Trump gave us a stimulus, y'all. I'm sorry to say that,
Right.
but at least he did a little something. I know there's a lot of politics behind that, but with gas being as high, like Biden, like where are you?
You don't even see him on TV.
Dog, when he do a comment, he'll be like, hey, the war is bad, but make sure you stay vaccinated. What? Bruh, what?
Biden like 51st dates.
Bruh.
10-second time.
Like,
Biden.
His name is kind of like, he should have been the secretary, like somebody on the front
Yeah.
line. Like, he's like the usher at church. Like, you just greet him and sit him on down. You don't put him up behind the pulpit.
Facts.
And we thought that he was gonna fall out for a minute, like, no pun intended. Like, woo, caught me on that one. He's already looking old as ever, so we were a little concerned about his health at one point, because I don't know if you remember that video where he fell down the stairs going into the private jet. Bruh straight fell and slipped. So I'm like, and even Rob is on the live, he said he already challenged people's blackness.
Right.
I mean, so, at this point, it's really like choosing the lesser of two evils.
Yes, it is.
A lot of people are opposed to Trump. I was too, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I will say Trump was a businessman.
Yeah, he made some business decisions.
He made some business
And kept us
decisions
afloat.
and kept us afloat. It might not have been the best decision, but businessmen sometimes we have to make unpopular decisions. So, it is what it is. So that's enough about that topic. Let's see what else we got going on in the media today. Might have a couple call-ins in a few.
Yes, yes.
Let's talk about this event we got going on this weekend. So we got Juneteenth. We'll be at Gossip Lounge on Memorial Drive. For Juneteenth, Juneteenth really just became big major a couple of years ago. Remember, like when it first came out, people were like Juneteenth, and now the more we recognize our culture, the more we identify. We're like, you know what, Juneteenth does deserve to be recognized, if not more than July 4th, because of what it stands for. So, you got plans for June 19th?
Well, I'll be traveling back from New Orleans on Juneteenth, which is Father's Day too. That's a big day for everybody. It's Father's Day, it's Juneteenth, it's a big day of celebration. I'll be coming back early that day, that morning. So I'm willing to get into some things, man, and celebrate. I'm just hoping that everybody celebrates it in the right way, where it's no crime, no killing, it's just family and love and things like that going on, man.
Yeah. I'm excited, It's gonna be hot as ever.
Ooh, yes.
However, I'm looking forward to every experience that we have.
Mhm.
Our personalities are gonna be, in the building.
Yep.
Speaking of, last weekend was hot.
Ooh,
Dog.
bruh,
We was out there with Baby D,
pick cotton.
Pig I'm still trying to recover, so I'm excited that we're gonna be indoors with some air conditioning, so that we're able to actually enjoy.
Yeah.
But I had a really good time out there. What I like most? He was cooking food for everybody, and he served everybody, and that's not something I was expecting to see from the guy that did. What you know about that EASTFIDD. If y'all could have seen no head just it was a whole situation. You had to get into that vibe right there. So shout out to Baby D.
Yeah.
He shows a lot of love. Did you try their slushies?
No, I didn't try the slushy because I was drinking something else.
Okay.
What you I was drinking something else.
Something water.
Something water.
Okay.
But
I was out of it.
I tried their hot dogs and stuff. It was pretty good.
Now, the burger was really good. By the time I got in my car, I was so exhausted from the heat.
Right.
I was shaking literally. I was like, I couldn't even think. Like when I got home, I just sat in front of my garage for like 20 minutes. I was like,
right.
I can't find my life right now because I'm out of it. Like my mom was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm not okay. I'm hot. I'm hot.
Right.
Everything is hot." So if you guys go out this weekend, any day later on this week, make sure you stay covered up. Keep those sunglasses on, some sunscreen, all that other stuff. Because it's hot.
Stay hydrated, man. That Georgia heat is different.
It's different. Now, is it different in comparison to the New Orleans heat?
New Orleans heat is hot, but it's humid.
Okay. Which one would you rather?
Neither.
Okay.
But the good thing about, New Orleans is you have a lot of water surrounding us.
Mm-hmm.
So you can always go to the riverfront or the lakefront, you know, something like that, and you can catch that breeze from the water, you know,
Right.
certain times of the day. Or you can even hop on over to Biloxi Beach or, you know, ride the coastlines, Florida or something. It's not that far of a ride.
Right.
So it's easier to do there than it is being here. Right here, you just trees and heat and
Mhm.
concrete,
Right.
and it's just different. It's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in Florida for 7 years, and it was extremely hot. But this heat here is like, I would say, it feel like walking in somebody's mouth.
It feel
I don't know if that makes sense or not, but if you would walk in somebody's mouth, I would imagine in
you walk
Georgia.
in somebody's mouth.
Like, think about how breath mints feel. Yeah, but like, imagine if you were a breath mint. Like, I used to want like commercials.
Just
and
melt.
Just melt.
Like
jacuzzi.
communion.
Yeah, like pop a breath in your mouth and the breath mint like melt, like it's in a jacuzzi thing or whatever. So, you know, with that being said, that's how I took it. That's how I roll with it. So, all that being said,
Right.
make sure if you're out in Atlanta and you're out there in the sun that you're staying covered up, make sure your breath is cool. It's too hot to have hot breath. Please don't come try to have no hot breath. Yes. Because it's hot outside. I'm thinking breath hot anyway.
Ooh.
Don't just pet and say it like that. So, with that being said, our special guest is walking the building. You guys stay locked and loaded. It's your girl, I am Trusty B. So, 101 TKO Radio, knocking them out the box. I'll be back in a minute. Let's go. Hello,
What's
hello,
up, what's up?
how y'all doing? Put your have a seat over here.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
How
yeah,
you
yeah.
doing? Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Oh, I'm sorry. That's not me.
Would you like water?
How you doing, sir?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Canton.
Nice to meet you. Let me get this right here. I need you to have no fall
How
down
was the drive over? Was it okay? Okay, good.
How you
Y'all
doing,
had
ma'am?
no trouble, did you?
No.
Okay, good. Perfect.
You out here though?
Yeah.
You live out here?
Yes. I live 12 minutes away.
North.
Yep. But it's only far, like, if you know this side. You know, everywhere in Atlanta is like,
It's stretched out, yeah.
it's stretched out. But I didn't want no studio in the city because you got crime rates and all that other stuff. And then so many more, you know, additions. But being out here, your credit gotta be good, your insurance
I
gotta
know
be
that's
good.
right. Yeah.
So people think twice before they come out here. They like, okay, let me make sure my car's straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's an all around good situation. We're the only radio station in the building. I mean, honestly, God, just for this to be my first station, I'm like, okay, God, this what we doing for real, okay? And we've only been open for 3 months. So this is Nelson, this is my president. Nelson handles everything with me. Doa's one of my personalities. So some of the things I do, because of personalities being new, I'll train them by coming in, having them come in and watch, and then just cultivate that culture of doing radio and making people love it again.
Yeah.
So after the app is almost done, the Roku channel will be up as well. So we looking to take content back over.
Let's go.
While I'm at work at my regular job, for Walgreens, I'm an IT engineer, so he works for the CDC, the engineer. So both of us just like we really on some grind time, like let's
24
go.
hours a day until it pops.
But listen,
Yeah.
listen at me now.
But it will pop.
Yes.
How's that, is it too loud, or need to go to?
Oh, I'm good. You can,
I got a
Yeah,
logo
I'm
coming
good.
Alright, so
on.
let's do a quick mic check right quick.
Hold up. I'm about to come off and then I'm gonna come right back up.
Y'all ready to have a good show?
yeah.
We do this thing. Let me know when you go live on Instagram too.
Well, we've been live all the
Oh,
time.
good. Okay,
I
perfect.
just got it muted.
So y'all originally from here?
I'm from Texas.
Yeah, I'm from Florida.
Deerfield.
Okay.
Deerfield. That's why I like Deerfield Parkway.
Deerfield.
Let's go.
I was like, okay, we gonna see that.
We're on the map.
Hey.
Right, yeah, a little small spot in Florida. That's why.
I lived in Orlando for 7 years.
Okay.
And then I feel like God took me there and put me away for a little bit of time. And then I just came back to Atlanta 3 years ago. But I literally came back to take my spot over. Like, in my mind, it was like, come take your spot again, Jonah. So, this is my Jonah moment.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I know Orlando was off the chain,
Orlando.
yeah.
Orlando.
Oh.
Never.
Well, I do know outside of Disney,
Yeah.
it's
That
crazy.
whole-
Yeah.
I didn't know what Haitians were until I got there. I didn't even know they
Oh,
existed.
God.
And then I ended up being with a kingpin. I didn't know nothing about no sauce. I said like griot, and I was thrown in, and then next thing I looked up, and I was in there cooking with barefoot women with bellies and all
Oh,
that. It was
Lord.
It traumatized what people need to hear.
Yeah.
The man behind the music, the journey behind the music, and the spiritual walk, and how you go through things just like anybody else. So, you know, you are from Deerfield, and
Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Beach, Florida. Shout out my Florida people in the building
Yeah.
one time. But you went to Morehouse.
I did.
How did that happen?
So, you know, I played ball
Mm-hmm.
in high school. Didn't want to play ball anymore. Kind of wanted to focus on music.
Okay.
And I was trying to pick. My thing was music. It wasn't really school.
Okay.
So I was trying to just find a way to get out of Deerfield.
Okay.
So it was either Atlanta, New York, California.
Ooh.
And so, you know, one was too cold,
Okay.
and one had earthquakes. And so,
Yeah.
you know, and so we went to Atlanta. I got a scholarship grant with the Morehouse College Glee Club. So I was singing in the chorus.
Yeah.
And so, and the rest is history. I really had a lot of fun. I got a lot of education as far as just traveling and doing a lot of things. I did graduate.
What was your major?
My business.
Okay.
I majored, at first it was music,
Okay.
but then I changed my major to business.
Okay.
And so graduated with a business degree, met my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time,
Shout out to
in
her.
which if I didn't have her,
Wow.
I would not have graduated.
Look,
Yeah.
put
At all.
Evans one time.
At all, bro. Because
Kept me in line, Lord.
that last report that I had to do, yeah, I'm just keeping it 1 million.
Did she help you through that?
Bruh, she had to help me type that whole thing and help me research. So,
How long was it? A dissertation? Was it a real one?
it was a capstone course
Okay.
called Policy,
Oh.
which is all of your classes, marketing, business, your accounting classes,
Mhm.
all in one. And you have to do these major projects. And when you oh my God.
You look like you still traumatized
Man,
from me.
I'm telling you, for like 2 years, I was waking up. Did I graduate?
Right, it's over.
But Morehouse has been great, and even through the years, the connection as a Morehouse man has been phenomenal. And my wife went to Spelman and graduated. She
Okay,
graduated
come
with a
through.
music degree. She's the one that did the music degree.
All right,
And so
now,
she does
sing,
jazz and soul. And so
Okay.
with that, you know, thanking God that I married somebody that understood
Mhm.
at least the passion of music that I
Yeah.
have. Because if you get with somebody that have a passion of music,
If
you
you
don't
don't get it,
you know,
it ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
You need to be our secretary or our producer.
you
one
got
of
to
the
do
two.
something because I'll be at the studio all night and you just don't understand.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll hate it. And so I thank God for my time there. And so I'm still connected with some of the brothers at Morehouse,
Nice.
and getting ready to actually go back and
Okay.
do some stuff with some of the students.
Nice.
And so, which is a blessing. And so, we Morehouse to me, for an African American man,
Mhm.
is like the school of schools.
Epitome, yeah.
It's the school. It's the school for a man to come and get that culture,
Mhm.
to get that background,
Yeah.
the alma mater of Dr. Martin Luther King,
Yes.
and all of the you know, just the certain things that you didn't know,
Right.
you know, about African American men, and the
Mhm.
strength that you get
Yeah.
there. You know, I got a
Yeah.
lot stronger and confident as a black man.
Yeah.
You know, because coming from Deerfield, coming from Florida, as
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
a big difference.
it's-
Yeah,
it's-
you can barely
and-
say you black out
That-
loud.
that-
Yeah, you can't even say.
There you go.
You got to put other on the selection.
Right.
Don't even put black, but
Yeah,
other.
so you know, and so you know, I didn't experience racism like that,
Mhm.
but my mom kept us really covered from stuff like
Okay,
that.
okay.
And so she would say, y'all go to the car, and let me handle this, and she would, you know,
She would do her thing.
she'd have
So
some
was
stuff.
it a culture shock at all to be thrust into this black explosive culture
It was kind of different.
Okay.
It was kind of different. I went to a school, Deerfield Beach, Florida. We had a lot of back then. It was a 60-40,
Okay.
white to black.
Okay.
So they had a lot of influence, even though we were all a basketball
Yeah,
team
they're
and all
majority,
that.
yeah.
But still,
Y'all
the
was sport
majority.
heads. Y'all was black folks.
Yeah.
They play ball.
I tell you, my determining factor of saying I'm going to Atlanta was they did not want us to perform at our graduation. We had sang, you know, a lot, but they didn't want us to perform.
Wow.
And they picked, you know,
Yeah.
other cultures, and I was like, nah, man.
This ain't it.
You know, and so let me get around. So when I saw got to Morehouse and saw black on black on black on black.
You was all the way in.
I was like,
with it.
okay, I get it.
Because you know when they say Glee Club, you think about what you see the fruit fields, but how was the Glee Club at Morehouse?
Oh, wait, what's fruit? What was that?
Like fluffy, like hey.
Oh yeah.
But your Glee
Some of
Club,
that
that's
some of
gangster.
some. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't a little fluffy.
Okay.
It was a little fluffy.
You needed a fluffy.
So you know, but I was like, my wife called me a bully. I'm not a bully. I wasn't a bully back then, but she called me a bully. But I was the one, the jokester. I was like how I am now, just unsaved, which means my vocabulary was a little bit more colorful.
Okay, colorful.
You know what I'm saying? But I say it like it is.
Right.
And so, but my brothers, we all accepted each other and understood each other. You know, they understood what I was with, what I wasn't with, all of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But when you start getting guys from different parts of the country to start singing together,
now that's a whole other thing.
The sound of brothers from different walks of life. One sound, it's giving me chills right now.
High.
That sound of my brother, it's almost like sometimes when we sang as the Morehouse Glee Club, that our ancestors were singing with us. It was such a powerful sound.
Yeah.
And so at that point, everybody had on the same tuxedo, everybody had on the same outfit, and everybody's singing the same song, and everybody's there for the same cause. And so that sound, that power, that love, as brothers in song sing on. And so that love, that power, people you would experience it all the time.
Wow.
And that is the thing that kept me like, man, I love, and I used to love to sing. You know, love to sing. I was a Jonah too. I was one to always crack jokes, and I kept everything light.
You know you cracking jokes.
Yeah, I'm still like that. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, but to keep things light, I have several funny stories, you know, but I don't have to go into. But we had a great time, and that was my experience. It really my search to even now keep the male sound of singing in gospel music, because we don't you know, you talk about the early 90s when there was Jodeci
and all the boys and men.
Those groups on the gospel side and the mainstream side does not exist. You don't have all male singing no more. It's just all rap or a man narrator over female singing. You see what I'm saying? So that to men sonically is a female sound. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's good music, it's still sonically, the sound of it is a female sound. And so we don't have all male masculine singing anymore. It doesn't exist. So when you kind of have that sound, you know that it's kind of like a microcosm of the family. Like you don't know, this generation doesn't know what the father sounds like praying. What your daddy sound like worshiping. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know
it's
nothing.
missing. You see what I'm saying? And so that is the search to get that sound back, to at least know, you know, for my kids to know what a dad looks like, worshiping before God, crying before God, but still being hard with it. You know what I'm saying? Like a warrior. And so and so that is one of my passions, to let people know that God like men. You don't have to always wear this "I'm gonna kill you" type of persona. And let me keep it 1 million.
Keep it a minute,
bro. Everybody know that if somebody cross you, you're gonna do something.
Listen,
that's not.
It's a human response.
That's everybody.
Yeah.
But God is looking for the intimate part of you. You know, for you to worship, to call out to Him. So no matter where you are, I don't even know why we're here already. But if you listening, bro, God, I just want to hear your voice. God, speak to me. You know, where I am. And a lot of times, I tell people. Like, you know, you ain't got to stop this and stop that. Take God, everything you got.
Take Him into it.
Take the dope to Him. Take the drug. Take the girls to Him. Take it all to Him. Lay it at His feet and say, all right, what do you want me to do with this? I'm here. You know, and so that is kind of what, like, Morehouse kind of led me into that, like that sound that I desire, that sound of masculine men singing before
expressing,
God. So,
and I love that, because in this era, like you said, there's so much rap, and not that I'm against
love rap.
I love rap now. I love me some Young Thug and all that, but it's so much aggression that being sensitive to heart
Yeah.
and your heart being soft and pliable for God, it's looking like a weakness when it's actually a strength.
A strength.
A strength. So we've been taught, even as black people, be strong, be this all the time, but a lot of our power comes from us being able to control and dominate our own selves and be like, you know what, let me just chill out a little bit and be okay with being vulnerable.
Right.
Say the B word. It's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you guys stay locked and loaded. We're going to come back some more with Pastor Canton Jones, me and your girl, Miss Dope, Unstuck on 101 TO Radio. We'll be back in a minute. Holla at me one time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some. Thank you.
What up, y'all? What's happening? them boys are geniuses.
And they are enjoying the
yeah,
process.
and you can tell like a lot of musicians, like they get a lot of people involved.
Yeah.
Nowadays producers, we produce by ourselves. So you make the beat, you make the bass, you make all the keys, all yourself. But you can tell that they bring different people in. When you bring different people in, you're mixing the taste of different musicians. And you can see that flavor.
I even dare to say that they have those live instruments in studio.
Yeah.
And they're actually performing the songs because when you listen to, you know, the versions, the instruments, you can tell the difference if you know music between program sound and the heart of actual sound.
There you go.
For me, a lot of people know I started out singing. My dad is a pastor. He has a church in Mississippi. And so I led the praise and worship team for a while. I sang. I was on American Idol season 5. So I had my run with the music industry.
Really?
Keith Sweat was my first manager. I was signed to 581 Music Group with Jagged Edge. So I've been running around the music industry for a minute. And with that being said, we gotta talk about this music industry because a lot of people want to be in it, Pastor, but they think that it's all glitz and glamour.
Yeah.
But spiritually, we know. So I want to talk about your projects and how your experience has been putting out these gospel projects, but still having that approach, that gritty approach, you know, and that battle between if people know if you either saved or unsaved. So for you, how has that walk, this journey been for you?
We've been kicked out of church before. Like,
for real?
Yeah.
Y'all gotta see why.
Not even at the beginning of what I was doing. Like as a Grammy nominated Stellar Award winning artist, we've been kicked out. You know what I'm saying? And so, but as a pioneer, sometimes you don't know. There's no
roadmap.
Yeah, you just kind of go, but you go with your heart, and you be genuine to who you are. And so when I first rededicated my life and so I went to church, I didn't want to do music anymore. I just wanted to produce because I felt like, you know, coming from church, I raised Pentecostal Church of God in Christ. Hand clapping for stuff. There you go. There you go. And so I felt like, man, God wouldn't accept my sound. So when I rededicated, God said, don't change your sound, just change your lyrics. Just change your lyrics and keep the sound because the gospel is not the sound, it's the lyrics. You see what I'm saying? And so you could put gospel over jazz, over hip hop, over any type of music, over country, if the lyrical content is the same. That's the kingdom part. So I was like, oh, okay. So my sound has always been edgy. It's always been R&B or hip hop or what have you. But my lyrical content has always been about God, about positivity. I sing about my wife a lot. I sing about, you know, being in love. I sing about any edgy thing, what I'm gonna do.
Who you rep.
One of my most popular songs is called "I'ma Stay Saved."
I love it.
And you know, to be honest with you, that story didn't go like that.
Really?
No.
So how did the story?
Okay, so we were. I was in my senior year. You had already graduated. I'm talking to my wife. My wife had already graduated from, and I was a 5-year. Still a student at
least 5 years, because I was 7, 8, 9, still struggling.
She got out in 4. Okay. So we're at McDonald's, near Morehouse. We broke, you know, it was the days where we had to split the fries.
Now, was that when McDonald's was good?
It was good to me.
Okay, it was good in my pocket.
It was good to me. So we were at this McDonald's. I like the fish fillet was the number 9.
Not the fish fillet.
So I love fish fillet.
Nelly, what you shaking your head for?
Fish fillet. So I love fish fillet. I took a big bite. I'm broke. We're hungry. All right. So it's cold.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh man, it's so cold that, you know, the cheese hadn't melted. It's cold.
Oh, dang.
So I I took it back. I just wanted them to warm it up. Either warm it up or give me another sandwich.
Okay.
So he I mean, you were in Florida long enough. I don't know if we say egg as far as ignore.
Yeah, you egged me.
So you egged me.
Yeah,
Okay, so you understand.
I got you.
So he egged me. And he did the Martin thing. He put his hand in my face.
Bruh.
And it's like, and he said, go to the back of the line. And so at that point, I lost.
You was trying to stay safe?
No.
You didn't stay safe?
No. That was before my rededication.
Okay.
So I wrote "I'ma Stay Saved," saying what I should have done.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't do it.
But that didn't.
Yeah, I threw the sandwich at the guy.
Oh.
I cussed him out.
Oh.
Real bad.
Oh.
And he called the police. And,
No.
But we were gone before that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. it was bad. It was bad.
But you know what? I love the reality of it because that is what people need to hear.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't had every situation. We don't handle everything
Yeah,
the best way. And number two, you can get back saved again. You cannot again, but you can rededicate yourself.
It's not like even, see, what people don't understand the difference between having God as a God and God as a father.
Mhm.
See, God as a father is relational.
Yeah.
You know, when my kids mess up, they're still my
They're
kids
still your
forever.
kids, yeah.
That's not going
It
to
don't
change.
change.
And we're going to walk through every situation, every circumstance
Mhm.
together. We're going to get better. It's a relationship,
Yeah.
you know. And so people don't see God as in that relationship.
Yeah.
You just see God as God. But Jesus says when you pray our Father which art in heaven.
Our
which
Father.
means that's a difference between
Mhm.
calling him your God,
And
which
your
shows
dad.
distance, and your dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I learned the proximity of relationship,
Mhm.
then if I mess up, he's still my
He's
dad.
still my dad.
He's still
Ain't
my
no
dad.
shame.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
it.
You know, religious people
Yeah.
who don't understand God say
The
that when you
dictatorship.
mess up, you
Oh,
hell.
that's
All
it.
right,
Yeah.
you're doing good, you're in heaven.
Yeah.
There's scriptures that says that you cast out devils, you did all this stuff in my name, but we didn't have that relationship.
Yeah.
Depart from me.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have anything to do with what your deeds are.
Yeah, yeah.
It has everything to do
Your
with
relationship.
your relationship.
Relationship over religion. I have always
There
thoroughly
you go.
believed that.
Yeah.
A lot of times people say, well, you don't act the way I no. If you understood, my daddy made me this way.
There you
A
go.
lot of people think that when they get saved, it's supposed to change who you are. God is a colorful God.
Right.
He made us all different.
Right.
So it may my delivery may change, but you're gonna get this
You gonna
word.
get it right.
You're gonna get this
How you
word.
bring it,
How
right.
you bring it. So for you in your studio sessions, what does your creative process look like? Because I know I talk to artists all the time who say, they need to smoke or they need to drink or all those things to get ready. What does it look like on your side?
I'm inspired by anything.
Yeah.
It
Basketball
could
games?
be a beat. It could be a beat.
Okay.
It could be something somebody said. It could be another song. It could be a hook that just comes in my. I don't have rules.
Yeah.
Like that, I call it the it's like a black hole. Like
Okay.
there are no rules.
Yeah.
When you come in here, we can take some spoons and start the song.
Yeah.
I got a song that I just heard my wife. I heard her in my head saying, "Oh,
Is that exclusive, y'all?
that," and I was like, "Baby, I hear you singing this."
Yeah.
And I put her, and she did it, and I made an entire song around what I heard. So
concept.
there's no, I don't do rules. It's just, I don't need to be full or what. Yeah, it's just whatever. What we doing?
Yeah.
And
I think that's a byproduct of your relationship with God, because when you move into that prayerful stance and you understand that prayer is constantly communicating with Him, you could be making a hamburger and then next thing you know you got a concept and you like, Lord, this bread is the only bread I want.
A whole hit song.
The whole hit song. You number one and you flipping burgers and you got an endorsement deal with Burger King. It could happen.
Come
like
on,
that.
you better speak. I received it. Go ahead, girl. I'm sorry right now. Just gave you
you might catch that. So
Yeah.
with that being said, let's talk about how it is being a husband and a father in this industry. You have all those different things on top of being a vessel for Christ in this industry. How does your relaxation process go when it's just Canton by himself?
My wife schedules everything.
I love that.
Yeah,
Come on, friend.
She schedules. She's been my balance. If I wouldn't have had her, what I have a music disease, which means
That's real.
if you don't stop me, it's
I'm gonna go all
gonna
the way
destroy everything, because I'll forget every recital, every basketball, football game.
Be in the
I'll
lab.
be in the lab, and that's the truth
Yeah.
of what. So she has been the person to keep balance in our lives, to say, all right, you got to do this, we got to do this, we got to pay this bill, we got to do this, and so she has been my balance for the entire time.
Yeah.
And even with my kids now, they are producing, they are writing. My son has just dropped his third album. He's 13.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And he's producing
I
his.
know 50 old people, they ain't dropped one
Man,
album
man,
yet.
and
Got
you
90
know,
songs.
and then the trip about his process, he produces in music so fast, and I want to tell him, man, in the industry, you got to promote a song, you got to slow down, you can't just drop it, you got to get your artwork and all this. And then God told me, let him go.
Let him be.
And
Let me guide his process.
And I said, and that's what he said. And I said, go ahead, baby, drop it. Do what you want to do. Do what you feel. He is passionate about the process mixing,
Mhm.
like mixing
Oh,
at
now
13.
mixing, not too many people, especially,
Right,
yeah.
right,
So
but-
he's working the boards and everything.
Well, the reason why is because he had to wait on me to mix his record.
Okay,
And
so
he
he
got
got
a little
time to wait
impatient.
on
Right,
that.
right.
Okay,
And
all
so
right.
he learned how to do it, and his music is good. And so that process of keeping the family together, which ministry, if you don't be careful, it'll take away from your family. You'll save everybody else
But your house.
and lose your house.
Yeah.
And I was not gonna do that. So my last, I'm talking about during COVID, condolences to everybody that lost, but it was a great time for me
I understand that.
because I needed the break
Mhm.
and started to discover, I do a lot to keep my marriage together,
Mhm.
but I haven't done a lot to know my kids. And I had to, when kids come in, you do what I say, you
And
hush,
that's it,
you
yeah.
eat, I feed you, you're growing, you look
routine,
healthy,
that's it.
you got clothes on your back.
You're good.
You're
Yeah,
good.
I did my job.
But I hadn't invested in them. I
Mm.
hadn't shown them what I do. I haven't spent that time with them.
Yeah.
And so during that time, we were able to reconvene as family, start praying together. Every day I kiss my kids' forehead. Every night before they go to bed, so that if you ever go through something, because you're gonna go through things in life, but you're gonna definitely know that Daddy loves you.
cares. Yeah.
Daddy love you. And so to hear a man pray, to see me weeping before God, to hear me still snap
Yeah.
at times, to know that Daddy's
It's
still don't play,
yeah.
that they know that I love them and I'm there to protect them. But more than being a protector and a provider, because that's the instinct of a man, that's the primary thing that we do.
That's the
They
identification.
need to know relationship.
Yeah.
And they need to know, Dad, I got this issue. Dad, what do you think about this? My daughter, she's dating.
How's that going for you?
Yeah.
Y'all,
Good.
his eyebrows about all the way up. He like, I'm paying stuff right now.
But it's real. So I try to teach her the game instead of telling him what I want from him.
Yeah.
Try to tell her the game. So if he's not the guy, you'll still know the game.
The game.
You know, and to be 1 million with you, here when I settle down, I say, all right, baby, Daddy gonna say something that my wife said.
Look, I go.
Daddy gonna say something that he don't always say.
Okay.
But here's the first rule of all relationships.
Okay.
Ends ain't S.
Ends ain't. Yeah, they ain't. Yeah, they
That's
really
what
ain't.
that's what I said.
Look, I had to.
I
All
said-
demographics.
I said.
Yeah.
All right. Now let me explain it.
Yeah.
The intention of a man, he wants sex, he wants this, he wants that.
Mhm.
All right. You are trying to find God in him.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. When you find God in him,
Mm.
and you can see that based off his lifestyle, then that's the type of guy you want.
Right.
And still, he's gonna need,
To grow into it too, yeah.
Now, and that was her first lesson to the game.
Okay.
First of all,
Just understand this one rule right here.
yeah,
This
number
will
one,
guide you
number
through
one.
your dealings.
Right.
How did she receive that message?
My daughter's me, female me.
She kept it. She kept it.
So
100.
she understands.
Okay.
She
Okay.
understands. Now I know, I teach. I'm raising my kid because I know that through life, self-esteem, confidence is like gonna be one of the main things going on when you've been turned down. So I try to raise my kids that they mess don't stink.
Yeah.
Like, they got the full confidence that they can do all things through Christ, that they can do anything, and so she's a boss. She's a female boss,
Okay.
literally.
Okay.
All right. So I know that going into the relationship with any guy, that she's gonna probably have to
She
let
gonna
up
make
a
her
little bit.
stink.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she might have to let up a little bit. Yeah, because she's a straight up boss, like straight boss. And so, that is the part. Her mom probably gonna have to teach her as far as
little grace.
yeah.
Little-
And she's my only girl,
Okay.
and I got all
So you
all
throwing
boys.
everything.
So
you
she got and her brothers are strong-minded, all
So
them
she's
strong.
around.
So she have to be a
Thank God for
dominant.
mama. And
She have to be a dominant individual to be the girl of our house.
Okay.
She had to be dominant. If not, the boys will eat her
They
alive.
gonna eat her alive,
Yeah.
poor thing.
Yeah.
Look, she standing strong. Look, shout out to sis, what's her name?
Love. Her name is Love Jones.
Shout out to Love Jones. Speaking
Yeah.
of one of your major debut projects.
Yeah.
Shout out to Love Jones. When we come back, we're gonna talk some more about Canton Jones, past Canton Jones, his family, Miss Doe, the Unstuck Radio Show. Your girl, I am Chelsea Speaks on 101 TKO Radio, knocking out the box. Clack clack. So you named her you named the project after her.
I named all projects. All of them have a project after them.
So okay.
that's a great and grand idea. I myself listen to all kind of music in the morning. I have even DJ Team Will, man. He
Them
takes
guys.
the remixes and throw the songs on there, man. Even the New Orleans bounce music or
Okay.
whatever,
Okay.
you know. And so, like I was saying during the break, I grew up in New Orleans, and it was more like a Catholic background.
Okay.
And so I didn't understand it much, even though my middle name is Jude. My mom had complications with me when she
Like
was
St. Jude Hospital? I'm
St.
sorry, I had to
Jude,
say it.
Wow.
St. Jude.
Wow.
You know, yeah, my mom had complications with me. She had me, let's just put it out there. I think my mom alive. Oh, rest in peace, ma. But you alive. On my birth certificate said 40, she said she was 38. I had the Benjamin Butts. But
Yeah.
so it was all kind of things being said about, you know, her complications at that age with having me, Down syndrome, different, all kind of testing she went through. And she did hair as well. I'm a hairstylist. I've been doing that for a million years.
Okay.
And
A million.
a million plus one. Yeah, BC.
Yeah.
Maybe. So, in that process, you know, one of her clients, you know, as stylists, we act like counselors, and we
Yeah.
have these deep conversations. And the lady suggested to her, you know, even though she wasn't in the Catholic religion, she just, you know, through talks and stuff, and was like, you know, go pray, go to St. Jude Church, and you do this, and whatever transpired back then, she made her promises, her prayers, and this and that, and I wound up coming out like I came out. Healthy baby girl, even though I was a little early, I had a smile on my face. The temple was showing and everything, so my middle name is Jude.
Okay.
But sticking to that religion, I never found it relatable because I didn't understand it too much, you know? So it was kind of hard for me to get, I was being told who God was, and I never knew who he was.
Yeah.
It took for me to grow up to actually go through some things, for me to know who he was, because like you said, everybody in that field, they treat him as though they never make mistakes.
Right.
Everybody is always poised, you're always talked down and things like that upon. So it's like, I kind of thought that when I did go to churches that I were invited to, and those pastors been through something, I was trained to be like, don't go there.
Right.
You know, he's supposed to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? But
That's
it
not
wasn't,
true.
and
Yeah.
it was definitely wasn't true.
Yeah.
And so as growing up and going through my own mistakes and learning how to pray on my own, and then just going and explore, you know, God and different church homes and things like that, I started learning who he was, because only he was the answer for me to get out of certain situations. You know, so in the music field, like that's my church.
Yeah.
I can't play music. No, I can't sing. In my mind, though, I'm a singer. You know, in my mind, I'm cold.
You cold, huh?
I am.
In that shower, you
Pass that
cold.
Grammy over here. But yeah, you know, so I appreciate somebody like you that makes it relatable to people like me.
Yeah.
You know, where we can love God transparently, and we don't feel, you know, awkward, and we feel like somebody understands us and
Right.
gets us, and it's not, you know, negative to put a little bounce to it in the back. No,
Right.
it's working.
I mean,
Right.
some of the things we go through in life, you need a little crumb.
Yeah,
Some of
you know what I
life's
mean?
troubles will make you call on God a different way.
I don't
When
want
you
to
got that Rick dude, I need to hear, trap me out, Pastor Ken.
Right.
Trap me out. Because my walk to this leasing office ain't about to be the same it was when I got mine.
Right. Praise God, ain't gotta be sad all the time.
And that, okay, I'm glad you said that, because of our experience coming out of slavery. A lot of our music had that
Heavy
that feel,
undertone.
that undertone of slavery. Get me out of here, Jesus. You know, in the sweet by
Take
and
me
by,
now.
you know, that type of thing. Well, really, you know, the reality of it was men were created not to die. Death came because of sin.
Sin, yeah.
Jesus redeemed you, so you gotta
You should
be
be living
that-
on the
there you
highlight.
go.
You know, and speaking of that, you know, I talked to a lot of music artists especially rappers, they first mixtape be about their struggle.
Yeah.
Would you agree, dare to say that when you come out in the industry, don't nobody want to hear about that first. You got to make some music that feels
Right.
good
Well, I
first.
mean, and a lot of times, guys got to come out and lie. If you're on the mainstream,
Yeah.
you know, you ain't got
You
nothing,
ain't
but
got
you
nothing.
but you got to talk about how many women
The
you got, how
lifestyle
many
you wanna
cars you got,
have, yeah.
and they speak those things into
They
existence.
do.
They
They
call
do.
those things that be not. And most of the times, you know, a lot of people relate to struggle music when it comes to gospel because that's where they are. But I don't want people to always only come to God when they struggle.
Yeah.
Like God wants to share all emotions. Let me get your happiness.
Yeah.
Let me get your let me get your party feel.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so church folk, you know, keeping it 1 million.
Yeah.
Know how to separate. Okay, well, I'm gonna celebrate with this type of music. On Sunday, I'm gonna be right here with it.
Yeah.
And when God wants all your emotions, so we started making music from Monday to Saturday.
Wow. You dang sure did.
You know, riders music, stuff that you want to ride to, stuff that you want to lift weights to, something that you want to, you know, smash music.
Yeah,
You want to
it's
make love to your
really-
wife.
yeah.
You know, I said recently.
Take me to the king.
Yeah.
Come here, baby. I can't wait not get married. Come here, king.
we just need, you know, to express ourselves to God in all emotions and not just the I'm sorry or I praise you, I worship you, but I want you in all my emotions. You know what I'm saying? And so there's no music for that.
Yeah.
And so we have to learn to make party music
For
God. Kingdom
Yeah,
people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and so why do I have to leave kingdom to celebrate?
Yeah,
Right.
now that's
You
real.
see what I'm saying?
See that now?
Why do I have to leave kingdom to lift weights or at a football game or basketball game?
Yeah.
People want aggressive music. I'm so proud of Lecrae
The crowds just
and Dominio. Right now, their record is that record up for the NBA finals right now.
Yeah, that's
you know,
major.
that's kingdom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And why wouldn't God bless that?
That's
Right.
kingdom, and it's I'm coming in hot.
Yeah.
You know, and that record is bonkers,
Yeah.
but it shows that if you make the right type of music,
It will.
it can be worldwide. You
Yeah.
know, and so we're not, you know, we have to be bold. Forsake not the assembly is the only scripture that makes people go to church.
Yeah.
You know, that's the
His
forsake.
Bible said,
Which-
don't forsake now.
and that's the only scripture that we hold on to make you go to church. It has nothing to do with relationship. You know, forsake not the assembly is really people getting together to discuss God. We checking on each other.
Yeah.
And you're talking about before church was in a temple, really was at people's
In
houses.
people's
You
houses.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We come to check on you. We come to make sure you straight. You good? All right. We good. Now we can go.
That's it.
You know,
Yeah.
y'all struggling. We'll come and make sure that everybody got everything they need, and that's it. The relationship part of God is a personal one-on-one
Yes.
walk with Him every day.
Yes.
So people in their mind say, "Man, I only do God when I go to church."
No,
and
no.
I take all that out for me, and then I got to do real life now. It's real life.
That's
I know
what-
y'all got faith, but
Yeah.
now this is real life.
That's
No.
why we can't experience God, because you're picking and choosing
There
when
you
you
go.
want to deal with Him. So what makes you think that if you take Him off when you leave Sunday and you go into your homeboy house, you think it's easy to pick him back? Like, come on,
Yeah,
Lord,
yeah.
take him with you, G.
Yeah.
He there anyway.
He there with your
I'm
smoke.
telling you, he right there rolling up. He holding the ashtray. 'Cause he already know. Come as you are.
Yeah.
Coming, Lord, coming.
And so, and with a relationship with God, as you walk through it, one of the things I say, get in the presence of God and do what He tells you to do. When God starts to speak to you, you just have to have the boldness to obey, and that's a walk. That's a journey over. One of the biggest things in my life that I had to work on was my weight.
Wow.
You know, my mom went home to be with the Lord 2017. Daddy passed in 2010, and so it's like, man, I'm getting bigger because of my lifestyle, and so God, you got to help me with this. So a lot of times people want God to help them with their spiritual things.
Now help me like every day.
Help me with I need you to help me with everything.
Yes.
And so God, I'm not winning in this area of my life.
Yeah.
And He gave me a formula that worked for me.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? But I had never brought it to Him. I had never really specifically brought that issue to God, because I felt like I can handle that on my own.
Yeah.
God, I need you for my marriage, help me with my
everything
kids,
else,
but this,
I can't
you
control.
know, and anything that God wants give me all of
All
it,
of
bro.
it, yeah.
Bro, you smoke weed, you smoke a pound a
Take it
day.
to him.
We take it to him.
Mhm.
God will have you smoking maybe a half a pound.
Yeah.
You know, because really you're trying to you're trying to smoke away issues.
Yeah.
You're trying to stay
Yeah.
intoxicated
Mhm.
because being sober hurts so
It
much.
hurts so much,
Yeah.
and it's hard to process, and it's hard to deal with your own thoughts.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear yourself
Yeah.
think no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so God will start to help you deal with your own thoughts.
Mhm.
And then you won't have to smoke as well. You'll like being sober more. But the whole thing about it is, while you high,
Mhm.
go to God. While you drunk, go to God.
Take it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny. I have a therapist as well. I'm a very firm believer in therapists and
Mhm.
Jesus also, because as Black people we turn it down. And for myself, I can say I used to be a really, really, really big smoker. But coming into this business, I'm literally seeing God strip away the taste out of my mouth. But it wasn't until I read this book and it said the best thing you can do with God is be honest with Him.
Yeah.
Keep it a band with Him. Look, God, this is what I'm going through. I know you see me anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to help me out. And then through therapy, those places started healing in me, and I'm like, you know what? I like how I think.
Yeah.
This is what God like. This, if I'm high, then I can catch the download that
Right.
I need, the information, or it's gonna slow me down because God just told me to do this, and I gotta roll up, and I gotta do this. Now I'm missing the whole assignment. Everything is all balanced. So it's very important for people to understand the gift of sobriety
Yeah.
and experiencing
Wow,
God.
that's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Just being able to walk in. And so for
Right.
you, how has it been for you? Because most people say Christians can't drink.
Right.
How do you feel about that? I think you can.
I was always the most lit. Like, they thought I was drunk, but they thought I was high, and I wasn't.
Wow.
But I was that wired.
Mhm.
So I didn't need to drink.
Mhm.
I didn't need I was getting ready to start smoking. I was in a cipher. This is even before I started going to church. And they were smoking, and they was like, bruh, you asking too many questions about this weed. You know, I was like, man, I just want to know, like, what it make you do, like,
Right.
you know. And I was
That's
asking
real.
questions. This is I was in college, and like, what it make you feel? Like, man, it make you feel ease. I was like, I feel ease, like.
Yeah.
And so they said, man, we're gonna make you get high. We're gonna make you get high. You're like, you're gonna get high.
Uh-oh.
And that statement, because of how I think,
You ain't
gonna make me do
you
nothing.
ain't gonna make me do nothing.
So that
That instance,
I'm not
Deterred
I'm
you.
not a peer pressure person. I'm a
Yeah.
peer pressure worker.
It
I'm
challenged you to
I'm
be
the peer
right.
that pressures. You know,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not. You not
I'm
know.
the pressure
So
cooker.
that part, but how I think,
Right.
it made me not want to. Now
Yeah.
I'm never doing it.
now, yeah, just because
Because
you're
of
one
that.
person, yeah.
But I was about to do it.
See, that's real though. But that's
I was
real.
about to do it because I just had an interest
Yeah.
in it. Like, why y'all doing it? I was around it every day. Everybody smoked.
Genuine.
And I was like, all right, I was about to do it. But that one statement
Was the reason.
was like, oh, no, you're not going to make me do nothing.
See,
Right.
that's the Negro part of you. If we're being political, that's the Negro side.
That's
you know
funny,
what I'm
but
saying?
and so, I feel like, you know, anything that you do in moderation, in moderation, it's like, do it in the presence of God, and He's going to tell you what to do with it.
Okay.
All right, so you drink, you do it. Jesus turned water into wine, so we already know His
Listen.
first miracle was,
Relax.
you know what I'm saying? So it's just, what do you do in the presence? If you do anything that you start doing out of balance, is going to take over
Your-
it'll take the place of God.
Yeah.
So chocolate, you know, most people when they are depressed, they go to chocolate, and so that chocolate becomes unhealthy. Now you know that, you know, heart disease is one of the number one things.
Yeah.
That's not whatever
Liver
liver,
function.
you know,
Mhm.
it's eating. It's
Yeah.
an eating
It's eating.
malfunction.
It's when you're
And so
digesting.
when
Yeah.
you're eating food, so really the main thing that the enemy is getting us with is overeating when we're depressed, overeating when we're happy,
Spot
when
filler.
we're all of our emotions. And so when you're not doing it in the presence of God, when you're not considering God, the Bible says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart, lean not to thy own understanding. So most of the times, in all our ways, acknowledge Him. He will direct our
We
path.
leaving Him out of acknowledging.
You
we
don't.
got all this stuff
You
going on.
only do serious stuff with
Yeah.
God. Lord, the rent due today. Of course, now you're gonna go
But
to
you
God.
knew 14 days
Right.
ago the rent was
You see what I'm
coming up.
saying? But
Right.
if it's a constant
Yeah.
conversation
Mhm.
that you're having with God, and you know, and it ain't always, you know, get on your
No,
knee, Lord
yeah.
Jesus, help me.
Right.
It's not
My
that.
knees
It's just
big.
God. What you want me to do with this? What you want me to do with that? What
Yeah.
you want me?
Yeah.
You know. Hey, me and my wife had a fight today. God, what was it me? What I need to do?
Yes,
You know what I'm
real.
saying?
Yeah.
And I discuss everything with him, so I know. Okay, this child is doing this. This child, you know, how do I? You know, he's different. Do this. And everything I take to him. You know, and so I lost. So when I started to take my weight problem to him, he told me how to lose weight without a diet.
Wow. Come on, Blueprint.
All right. So he told me how to do it. You know, I'm athletic. He told me how to run, how to get my heart rate up, and that formula is, and I'm gonna give the tea on how I did it on my Instagram pretty soon of the whole thing. But he gave me a formula that worked for me.
Yeah.
You said because I finally took it to him.
Yeah.
You see
And he
what I'm
gave
saying?
you something just for you.
Something for me.
And you know, and I think that's the thing too, before we go to break, we have all these problems and we use other people's way of going to God instead of allowing him to talk to us the way that he wants to.
Yeah.
His plan for this station ain't gonna look like that plan, but because you're like, Lord, I want a plan, you missing that he's giving you a corporate mindset, kingdom business, just because your thought process don't look like is that person. But the Bible says our thoughts are not his thoughts anyway, so it ain't gonna look and feel like this person over there. So I'm all about kingdom business. I see that. That's what the lifestyle is. So when we come back with Pastor Canton Jones, we're gonna talk about Free Life Church out there in Stockbridge, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna be there. So you guys stay locked and loaded on 101 TKO Radio. We'll be back in a minute. Wow.
What's up, man? Y'all still hanging with me? he just had this freedom that he danced with the kids, and all of it. He was a big time pastor,
Wow.
and all of his sons in the ministry, daughters in the ministry were there,
Okay.
and they were just looking at him wow out.
He probably
And he was
wasn't
like,
waiting to do that.
and he had just turned 60.
Okay.
He sweated his shirt, and I said, man, I called my wife. I said, man, Pastor is so free.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he got a freeness, like, and
The
she
whole
said,
weight.
that's the name of the church. And I said, free life. I was like, you're right. That's it.
Okay.
And so the freedom that we have,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my church clothes. That's what I preach in.
Mm-hmm.
We have a DJ in the middle of the church. We don't have a church
For real?
band. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right, because I be seeing a lot of videos. That's
Yeah,
big.
yeah, and so everything and the conversation and things I teach about is about freedom. One of the things that God is telling me to do is lead people into His presence so that they can hear from Him and have a boldness to obey. And so it's not necessarily about the church building. A lot of people learned during COVID that I ain't gonna get zapped. Well, it was like I ain't gonna get zapped down for not going. You know, you got people that's been going to church.
Get dressed up.
People been going to church for 40 years straight that has never missed, and so they missed consistent Sundays, and they were like, wait, I still can.
I'm still alive.
I'm still alive, but I can still have a
My
relationship
prayers
with
still
God.
went through.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they started to learn that it's about an individual relationship, and that's what we teach it. So, but we use everything. We are focused, youth focused. You know, it's not a church just for young people.
Yeah.
But you'll see my kids, you'll see other kids do skits, and because most of the time in most churches you separate that. You have kids and kids church.
Yeah.
I believe in family.
Yeah.
Let's bring it all together. Let's let the pastor, let men do songs with their kids, and women do songs with their kids. Let's do stuff together. And so it's a family church. It's very fun, progressive. We're in Stockbridge, 1445 Rock Quarry Road.
Rock Quarry.
Yeah, in Stockbridge, Georgia. So come, 10 o'clock, we lit, and we out of there quick.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
You get 11:45, we out of there.
You know what? I'm coming. We gonna go this Sunday. You wanna go?
Yeah,
So you
come
gonna
on.
be in town though? I'm
be in town.
Well, I'm gonna slide on Sunday. I'll
You
be
gonna
there
know
on
I'm
Sunday.
gonna go next Sunday.
Come on, we'll be there. Yeah.
Next Sunday I'll be
No.
there.
And I'll be there Sunday.
Yeah,
First
let's
Lady Mauna.
Yeah.
Don't talk about me when I kick my church dances. Baby.
Come on. Well, see, we don't have the band, so we don't do the. So all our stuff is lit.
Yeah.
Like my son produces, so all he plays
I
his
love
So I can
beats.
do the woe.
You can do whatever.
I
They'll
love
be
the devil
doing it for you.
Girl,
My kids will do it.
I'm right there with you. Shake that devil
But the
off.
main thing is to hear about the word. This Sunday I'll be talking about the voice of a father. You know, it's Father's Day, and so a lot of times this generation hadn't heard the voice of a father. What did my dad sound like if I had a praying? What would it sound like if my dad was a praying dad? A lot of kids don't even know their dad.
Absolutely.
You know, so the praying father, the voice of the father. Jesus was baptized, and the angel descended on him like a dove. The dove descended on him, and then God said, "This is my son, whom I am well pleased." You heard the voice of God,
Yes.
you know, affirming His son. And it's like kind of Jesus needed it. You know what I'm saying?
A little confirmation, Lord, is
Like, I
remind me
need
that I'm
that.
yours.
I need that, God.
Yeah.
I need to hear the voice, and their voice of. I have mentors that just keep me, you know, man, what's going on here? And you want to hear the voice of somebody, and so we want to talk about the voice of the Father, which is important, and go into some other things. If you go on my Instagram,
Absolutely.
I post clips.
Ain't lying.
And it's controversial. Some of the stuff,
It's hot,
a lot
y'all.
of stuff I say is
But
very
it's
controversial,
necessary.
but it's truth.
Yeah.
Amen.
So how has your walk been now that you are a pastor and you have that responsibility on top of your
Man,
son as
my
an
wife balances my life.
artist? I love it.
If not, you know, I would miss everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she keeps me balanced, which keeps us tight. You know, communication is key in every relationship. And so, you know, baby, what I got to do today, or you know, she organizes my life. And so, with pastoring, and then this next thing that I have to do, which is huge, on top of pastoring, you know, kind of being a pastor of pastors, young pastors who want to kind of do the model of free life.
Yeah.
You know, who say, man, I think God is calling me to do that. I've been having guys everywhere that's been saying, you know, guys all over the country saying, man, I think God is calling me to do something like what you're doing, bro. Will you walk me through it? Will you mentor me? And I went through you know, the wilderness
Yeah.
to get
Yeah, 40
this
years was a
formula.
long walk.
Lord
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, for during COVID, we had to have church in the park for a year.
Wow.
You know, he told me, do not go in a building.
Okay.
You know, just go
Keep
outside,
going,
go in the
outside.
park, and minister to the people. And
Mhm.
so, you know, you hear and you do.
Yeah.
You know, you hear and you
It ain't
do.
no in between.
And,
Yeah.
and some of it you don't understand, but I go before I understand.
Mhm.
See,
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to?
I'm already here. What you want me to do?
Yep.
Yeah. Some people say, Lord, take the wheel. I say, Lord, put me in the trunk. And when we get there, just pop the trunk and let me know to hop out.
There you go.
And then I'm with it.
There
I
you
ain't
go.
even gonna question you. I'm gonna just trust it. You got this, and I'm gonna know when I get there.
There you go.
So that's that big radical faith. So before we go, what are some pieces of advice you can give artists out there who are struggling to decide, you know, God is calling me, but I want to fit in.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give to them?
I would say one, when I got in the studio, I just had to write my heart out 1st.
Mhm.
So a lot of those songs nobody ever heard,
Yeah.
but it was
Yeah, when
vent-
you was
it was just
passing.
vent music. It was just vent music, like getting what was in my heart out.
Mhm.
And then I started writing songs to God where I was, you know, I'm empty. You know, you'll hear those songs, and then as you get more mature in God, you'll see that maturity. You know, don't put the pressure on yourself to try to have to write with like somebody who's been in the faith for 20 years. You know, but there are people that's on your level that need to hear your testimony like you have it. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, and God will take you faith to faith, glory to glory. And so, as an artist, if you are passionate about what you do, one thing, keep it real, keep it 100.
Yeah.
Stop telling other people's stories.
What?
Like, you know, you know,
I felt that. You felt that.
you keep perpetuating what you see, and God is taking you in another direction. And so, a lot of times, if you say what you see, you're gonna get what you see.
Absolutely.
You know, so and so in this level, you know, you just say what you believe. You know, I had to start to say what I believe beyond what I saw. What I believe is this, and the power of life and death is in the tongue. So what I believe starts to manifest. You know what I'm saying? Instead of over what I saw.
Right.
You know,
right.
you know, and so I felt like, you know, man, I can be a one woman man. Because before I got married, I was promiscuous and I didn't do the right thing. And so, but I said, man, I can't be a one woman man. I can do this the right way, and I will concentrate on this, and I will focus on this, and I'm gonna change my number. And you know, back in the day, that was Beeples. You know,
Okay. The SkyTel. The
It's
SkyTel pages.
They're gonna put my age out there.
304.
Yeah.
408. I digress.
And so, all those things, I was willing to just change in my life, make different changes, you know, beyond my flesh, to say, man, God, I really want to do this the right way. Show me, you know, and those things that I had to do.
Yeah.
But it's a process.
Yes.
You know, you don't get there overnight. And that's the great thing about God, the relationship. It's a process.
Yes.
If you look at the father-child relationship, or if you look at the mother-to-child relationship, they love you through all of your phases, through all of it. It's a good mother, good parent, always love through phases, and you don't go to the child and say, I'm not your mother anymore because of what you did.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's just like
you hear
God.
that, Mama? Sorry.
And God is saying the same thing. I'm not divorcing you.
From
you know, you're still my child. We just got to go and go through this process.
Yeah.
And so I am knowing God now more as Father than God.
Yeah.
You know, I'm knowing Him as Father. Lord, what you want me to do with this? It'll be this will be here. You know, these people gonna challenge you when you're going here.
Here you go.
But I'm with you.
Yeah.
That's okay. Stand firm. Don't say anything until I tell you, and this is what you say. You know, and all of those instructions, you have to, you know, follow God and hear from Him. But a lot of times we don't go. We're taught to go to God when we're stressed out, when we're at the end, when we're at the end. You know what I'm saying? And take God the realness of who you are. You know, just hey man. You know, if you smoke, you know, have a smoke session.
Listen.
And talk to God.
Listen, now let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
Now they say now in the good word that the burning bush that Moses had.
Oh,
I think personally.
You think it was a weed bush?
I think it was. It could have been kush.
yeah, the smoke.
Is that far fetched to think though. I'm just saying.
I mean, it didn't consume,
Well,
but he didn't smoke it.
he didn't
He
nail it.
He didn't smoke it.
He walked around
So,
with
so
us.
I don't wanna put something, in the word that ain't
It ain't
there.
there.
Yeah. So he didn't smoke. If you have, things that, if you smoke, I would just say, try to smoke in his presence.
I know that's right.
Take it to God.
Yeah.
Take it to God. Because what the smoking is trying to do is
Is-
take the place
Yeah.
of the presence of God.
And it can't.
Alright? So if you take it in there, you'll see which presence is the
I'm
strongest.
trying to tell you.
You say, God, show me your glory. Show me, like God, I smoke. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel at ease. I've been smoking for a long time, but I want to know what you have that's better than this.
Yes.
Challenge it.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
And before we go, I gotta ask this. I've been hearing, me personally, challenge God, challenge God,
Yeah.
challenge God. What is that conversation? And I'm earnestly asking for myself. So what does that conversation
I mean,
look like?
that's a faith that you're saying, God. Let's just say you do something illegal for money. All right, God, I've been doing this thing for money, but you said that you'll supply my needs according to your riches and glory. So I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna stop this, and I'm probably gonna go get a job or go get something that might take a little longer to make money, but I'm gonna trust you.
Okay.
All right, that's what that looks like.
Okay.
Taking that hard road, but what happens is when you take that hard road, God will advance you on that job,
Okay.
or you'll make double or triple, or money will come from the north, south, east, and west. And this is a lifestyle that I had to live. I had a deal before I rededicated. I had money. I had situations.
I was straight.
I was, you know what I'm saying, that I had to walk away from to trust God, and I was willing to have nothing but I wanted peace.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have a lot of everything but have no peace. You can smoke more weed than anybody, the reason why you have to keep smoking because you're trying to get peace. You see what I'm saying? You have to drink because you have to sleep with so many people because you have no peace. And so when God gives you peace that surpasses all understanding, when you don't have to smoke at all or you don't have to do other things at all, and you got the peace.
That's a whole.
That is because really that's what people are trying to obtain.
Yes.
They're trying to obtain peace and joy.
Yeah.
All right. So they feel like these are the other things that's going to give you that peace and joy.
Yeah.
Most times, and this keeping it 1 million. When guys, they have sex or whatever, they got plenty of women. Most times they enjoy the story, telling their homeboys.
Yeah.
That's most of because the other part leaves a void. All right, when you don't do it the right way. So most of the time, even a house. Well, I lived in a mansion. God made me give it up for the church, but I'm getting it back. You see. But when I was in depression in that mansion.
House. Yeah.
Because my dad was gone. So only time I really enjoyed it is when I was showing other people the house.
So the storyline of the lifestyle, not the actual life. Okay.
I was just feeling good because of their oohs and ahs.
Yeah.
But me, when they left,
it's nothing.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, and this anybody out there, when you challenge God, that challenge also pushes you to change.
Yeah.
Because what you just pointed out was you challenge God, but you're not just saying, God, I challenge you. No, I'm going to challenge you, and I'm going to meet you, God, and I'm going to give up X, Y, and Z, because I feel like people keep telling us, challenge God, challenge God. No, challenge God and change at the same time.
because he's gonna
so
tell
it's
you.
going to be an even deal because you end up changing anyway.
He's going to tell you.
It's hard,
He's going to tell you to
man.
change.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be a heavy smoker, drinking more than sociably, pills every night. I dealt with depression and things from the things that I've been through in life.
Real.
But I'm at a place now I haven't smoked in years.
Yeah.
Maybe if I went on a trip, I might have dipped and dabbed or something, but nothing like that. I only drink sociably. I'm not even drinking like that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't take pills. I even hate to take medication for my ailments.
Yeah.
So I've cleared my mind. The hardest thing for me to do was to stop and turn around and face my past.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I kept running and I was just running and running. And I was using all these things to just cloud my mind and band-aid the emotion.
Yeah.
But then I got tired of that because it's still there.
Yeah.
So then, and then you wonder like, dang, I didn't smoke 3
And it's still.
And I'm still not high.
Yeah.
Like somebody just smoked back to back to back, and it started narrowing down to where I could have one joint and smoking it last me 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
So I noticed it was getting away from me.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it wasn't a job, it wasn't nothing, no law or anything that got in my way. That was just took it out of my life.
Yeah.
I just wanted different.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of money then.
Mm.
But now I'm broke and peaceful. Get my money back, class.
You don't get your money back, but you want your peace. May your peace stay.
That's real.
You know?
Yeah, but it's hard to
And I think
change
a
like
lot of
that.
times too, in our past, the Our Father which art in heaven, which is a very popular scripture, but very powerful. People miss the assignment in there. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. That's the only part of that scripture, as we forgive our debts. So that's the only part that God is asking, that Jesus said, this is the only part that you have to do.
Yeah.
And forgiveness. So forgiveness and unrepentance is the thing that keeps your past alive. Because somebody hurt you, or you hurt somebody. So how you put things behind you to sleep is forgive and repent, whether they there or not. I forgive and repent,
Yeah.
and you put a bow on that and you put it to sleep.
Yeah.
It won't taunt you once you said, you know what, you hurt me, but I forgive you.
Yeah.
I let it go. I don't expect nothing from you.
That's a
You
power
start
statement,
putting
yeah.
a bow on things in your past, therefore you can start prophesying to your future. You see what I'm saying? So that's the easiest way, because most of the times when you deal with your past, somebody did something to you,
Yeah.
or you did something to somebody else that you know you felt like you was right, but then you can't shake what happened, or they might have died on you or something, and you deal with it. So it's only two: forgiveness and repentance, and you just go, you know, thing by thing. Man, that hurt me. That you hurt me, bro. You broke my heart. I forgive you. I release you. And I love you, which means I don't expect anything from you. You owe me $1,000. I forgive you. I release you. I love you, and I don't expect that from you anymore.
Right.
Now I expect God to give it to me.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. And so once I start getting rid of that stuff, because see, when you expect something from people from your past, it'll hinder you from going forward.
Right.
Come on.
You know, and so, you know, sometimes you can't go forward because you got so much, but God wants you to look to the hills. He wants you to start focusing this way. There's so much more in your future than that was in your past. And I know for you, you know, I don't want to be.
Come on with it. I'm with it now. I ain't gonna stop prophesying.
I don't want to, but I like to say that if you trust God on this move, to be totally into where you are now, Atlanta. Alright, that there's more opportunity than you've ever dreamed that's here. Alright. What happens is the scab in New Orleans keeps getting peeled when you go back there. It's like it's something trying to heal, but you keep messing with the wound.
To the pink meat.
It won't
That's right.
heal because you keep going back into it.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get you to a place of healing. So you almost healed, then you go back to, and then it can get infected, and go back, and then it spread, blah 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 blah. So he's trying to get you to a place of complete healing and complete trust. Most of the times when God is saying, you know, when God make big moves, Abraham, go to a place that I'll send you. I'm gonna send you there. Then I'll tell you what I want you to do. I'm not gonna tell you first. You gotta trust me and go. And then Abraham went, and so he said, now go sacrifice your son. Well, I thought you said I'm gonna have seed to outnumber the stars. You about to have me to kill my only child. Not trust me. All right. Then Abraham went. You see what I'm saying? And so those things are trust before you see. Lean not to thy own understanding. You are having a level of success, but you ain't all the way in yet.
Right.
But when you get all the way in, you're on a radio show.
I'm about to
You're on a radio. Look at the blessings that you're experiencing halfway.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm gonna start charging y'all more money for my No, and I got it before we go. That's exactly what happened with the station and go, you know, years around. I called Nelson, I was like, look, I'm tired of people telling me they can take me off air. I want my own station, but God, I ain't got the money, my credit, and I got all this stuff going on. And so God said, just start looking. So I just started looking, and something led me here. And the lady called me, and she said my name right. She said, hey, Chelsea. And I said, oh, I already like you because you pronounced my name correct. My spirit, though, said, Chelsea, this the one.
Mm.
I had not seen it yet. When I came in, I looked, took pictures, I called them, and I was like, this is it. I just feel like this is it. And the way that God maneuvered that thing, like I said, I didn't have no money. In 7 days, I had $3,000 to put down to walk into the situation and be like, look, we gonna build this radio station. And since then, everything has just come together. But I'm living proof though. You saw the walk. I'm a fan of walking into a room blind because I know God will meet me there every time. Yeah. And this, what you're sitting now, is a manifestation of what I prayed for, what we prayed for, blindly, not knowing how. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, Lord. How I'm gonna put this up. I got a full-time job, but it's getting to this point has become such a blessing in my life, and it's filled so many voids because it's allowing me to show my personality, my people. It's okay to not know what's going to happen next, because God knows what's going to happen next. And once you get that boldness, bruh, it's over.
Let's go.
It's over. It's no fear at that point, because God don't like to be embarrassed either.
Right.
So He ain't gonna put us in no situation where He gonna be like, well, I brought her half the battle, and she gonna have to. No, I put your name all on this guy, so I'm gonna need you to go ahead and show out one time for the girl. So, with that being said, Pastor Canton Jones, we thank you, we embrace you, we thank you, Pastor Jones. Thank you for coming. Let us know where we can find your social media.
Yeah, THE Canton Jones on IG and on I'm getting into to TikTok.
Okay. Oh,
getting
stop
into,
now.
my kids, they
You got to,
so,
right.
I'm on Facebook as well. We do a show, a podcast every day at 9 o'clock, so y'all can check us out. It's just an hour show. And we have church every Sunday at 10 a.m. So y'all rock with us at Free Life.
Rock
man, we love you on Rock Quarry Road. Yes, sir. Yes,
Rock
sir.
Quarry, that's what they say in the country.
Yeah. That's how you said Rock Quarry.
Rock Quarry Road. No, Rock Quarry. Okay, Quarry. Drop your jaw. Lord, today. Like, drop your jaw like you do them problems before Jesus. But anyway, don't drop your social media real quick, my love.
This is Miss Doe with the Unstuck Show, 101. Pastor just got me going.
No, you good.
But I'm on social media, Instagram at Miss Doe Original PMR. I am here at 101 TKO Radio Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 to 2. Make sure y'all stay tuned in, not only for me, but for all the other radio personalities, 7 days a week, honey.
I love it. You already know what time it is. It's your girl, I Am Shelly Speaks. Don't forget to meet me at the Juneteenth Festival at Gospel Lounge, supporting our black businesses. I ain't gonna do nothing too bad because I plan on being at church on Sunday at Rock Quarry with Pastor Rock Quarry with Pastor Canton Jones. So once again, it's the Winter Dope Brain Show with Miss Doe, the Unstuck Show on 101 TKO Radio. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys in the morning. I'll holler. Why I be doing this like somebody gonna see me? I got to do the whole motion.
That's all right.
I don't know. I just had to do it like that. Good.
That was
stuff.
good. That was good.
That was good.
That was good.
Thank you.
Really, really good.
That was